And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another bracket here of the OSC Season 12 Championship Challenger Bracket D. I'm, of course, your side VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the second broadcast of the day. We just wrapped up with the Master Coliseum number 8, and now we're here with the OSC Championship Season 12. Here we go. Throughout the past week, we have been actually hosting these brackets, hosting these qualifiers for the main event. We have gone through bracket A, B, and C, and now we are here with bracket D, the final chance for these players to make it through into the main event. And spawning in the top right hand corner of first line, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, representing himself, coming teamless. It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Orange Terran player, the American Terran, representing Detonate. It is Dolan. Here we go, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Spirit, of course, just now making it through into the playoff bracket of Master Coliseum. Spirit, he is in form, very much so, is favored in this series, but of course my heart has to go for Dolan. Always happy, always the ex-CranKy Duckling himself. We're here for him. We are here for him. Also, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys don't have a look at it yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we will go over the bracket after this series. Until then, we're going to be focusing on this TvT. Here we go. As our two players do face up. Also, am I crazy? Am I wild? What I'm referring to, usually am I crazy? Usually aren't there race logos next to both the players' names? Am I losing it? Are they not always there? Suddenly they're gone. I don't know, maybe I'm just too tired. it's possible, it's possible. Regardless, we're going to be settling in. When it comes to this qualifier, when it comes to this bracket, with this challenger bracket, I should emphasize, three players will make it through into the main event. As a result, the semi-finals of the upper brackets are going to be the qualifying matches. They're going to be best of fives, and there's going to be a bronze match as well. The losers of those best of fives are going to be facing up against each other in a final chance spot and a final bronze match to make it into that main event. Oh boy. So again, 3 slots. 3 spots available. But now we do see Spirit scouting, checking his third base location, making sure that everything's on the up and up. And likewise, Spirit does open up with his own standard opener. Just racks into factory into a delayed CC on the low ground. Meanwhile, Dolan across the map opting to go for the same opener. So far, so good. But when it comes to our initial openers, we're going to be diverting a little bit. Here we have Spirit going to be opening up with a Hellion. Meanwhile, Dolan going to be opening up a Cyclone instead. Here we go. Cyclone base opener up against a Heli base opener instead. So Dolan just being safe. Going to be opening up safely back at home. Can be secure against any kind of drop play, any kind of early game aggression. Should be able to hold his own. As I say, that Spirit does move out. His goal here is to delay the CC, and we'll see if he can. Yeah, the CC is going to be delayed. The SV is going to go down. We do see Dolan respond, but alas, we'll lose that worker. So far, a nice pick off here by Spirit. Does start things off with a small win. Has to back off, has to respect that Cyclone. From here, Spirit, he will retreat. Does reinforce with additional Reaper Hellion. Following things up with his own Cyclone production, and Dolan does start things off with faster tank production instead. So Cyclone into tank here from Dolan. From here we can embrace mech, of course. Can get into a second factory. We'll keep an eye on both players. I mean, it is not unheard of for both Spirit or Dolan to get into mech and TvT. But now their tank Raven production is underway. So far everything looking as it should. As both the players are building up. Likewise, Spirit is tempted to move out, so just building up his own tank count. Ravens as well. Until then, we're going to be entering a bit of a lull period here in our TvT. Again, game 1 is going to be on Frostline. This map in general, a very long rush distance by ground, a large map. The bases are exposed, referring to the 3rd and 4th base. That is where I would imagine the big contention is going to lie here in expanding and taking the 3rd. Speaking of 3rd base now on the way for Spirit, likewise for Dolan as well. Both players are building up. No crazy 2-base all-ins, no 2-base aggression. We're going to be getting into our 3rd base expansions and getting into the mid-game. So relatively passive setup here. I mean, sure, Spirit was able to pick up 1 SCV earlier, but outside of that, we're just getting into our TvT. No major signs of aggression. We have our tech of choice. 2nd Rax on the way. Stim as well. It is going to be Bio Tank out of Dolan. And we should be seeing the same out of Spirit, as he has yet to throw down extra Raxes, but I would imagine it's going to head in that direction as well. As for now, he does fan out. You can see Spirit, he's getting eyes on the 3rd base locations. Reapers, they bust into the main, but the Cyclone's in position. And the Cyclone will punish. He gets 1. Gets 1 Reaper. Forces Spirit back. Behind this, 2 more Maxes on the way. So Spirit, he's working towards his bio. Stim is going to be far faster for Dolan. Bear that in mind. That might be a big factor. He is going to be prioritizing Stim. And we'll see what he can get done with that Stim timing. And he'll soon be able to push out. Instead, Spirit is going to have a higher tank count, I believe. Yeah, barely a higher tank count for Spirit. Can set up, of course, back at home. He has units here to spot any kind of move out to give him forewarning. Dolan is going to push. Getting his 3rd base on location, so is Spirit. Spirit does start saturation. So is 3rd base slightly faster. Both players building up. We just see Spirit going to be stopping Raven production, going into faster Vikings. He does stop at 3. So 3 Ravens for both players. As Spirit gets into Vikings, we have Dolan going into Medivacs instead. I mean, with that, he has potential for drop play, that is true, but yeah, he's not really able to make use of that earlier Stim timing. Stim is later here for Spirit, but he's catching up. So they catch up with that upgrade. Getting there. So all in all, I do favor Spirit's position slightly here, just because we're not really making use of these earlier upgrade timings. I'm sure Dolan has faster 1-1, but I'm not so certain that we're actually going to make use of that. Dolan scans, sees the army. Does attempt to move out. Spirit, he has spread out his forces as well. So they hell in on the right. He does somewhat spot a move out. Spirit, he responds. HX sees the main army. Is aware. Getting in position. So far, just good vision here by Spirit. And Dolan doesn't find a way in. Oh! Oh my god. Dolan gets away. We do see Spirit going for a massive marine counterattack. Is there anything back at him to defend? There's a handful of units. Is it going to be enough? Oh! Dolan sims in. Gets a Raven. But Marines, they hit the mineral line, and SCVs are going to go down. Massive pickups. Ay, ay, ay. And how many? 21 SCVs going to be going in. 22 SCVs, the mules, and potentially the CC as well. In one fell swoop, Spirit, he does get a kill on everything here at the 3rd base. The CC as well. And he's just going to force the all in. The CC goes down. It's going to be all or nothing for Dolan. His hand has been forced. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Spirit. And as Dolan is beating out more reinforcements. Not like this. Dolan stimming in. I mean, nice disables. The tank count is going to be reset. Nice catch here from Dolan. Takes out every single tank. But does he have enough to keep going? Again, the disables, they were on point. Tank's a little bit late to siege. Now the counter disables. And we come in first round. Despite that, Dolan is breaking through. I spoke too soon. Down to 2 tanks left. Again, that was a brutal surround. Dolan pushing in towards the 3rd base. And he has to do some damage. Does get into the SCVs. And boys are being pulled. Tank stay repositioned. Oh god, it's 1 HP. Has to get out of here. Tries to siege up. One tank goes down. And Dolan, he barely doesn't have enough. Spirit holds. Spirit, he holds on. GG gets called. Dolan was completely all in. It was all or nothing, and Spirit takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Spirit does take lead in the series. As we're getting into game 2. And again, Dolan, his move out, his attack wasn't looking too bad whatsoever. Was gaining ground, was trading well. The problem is, of course, Dolan was all in, right? Dolan, he was down 22 workers. He was down a base. So trading well was not good enough for Dolan. He had to do more than that. Alas, Spirit did hold. GG. GG, well played. With that, that leads us into game number 2. And we'll see how this story ends. Will Spirit take the 2-0 or will Dolan bounce back? We're getting into game 2. It's going to be on Amygdala. Let's go. Oh, sorry. I will fix up Spirit's out of game race. There we go. So we're getting into game 2. And you can hear the beeps. We are loading in. And again, overall, we did have a relatively passive start to game number 1. A lot of it came down to the map itself. I mean, I feel like Amygdala is similar in that sense as well. We do often see a lot of 3-4 base play on this map. I do think that this map is more defendable than the previous one. The chances of trying to skirt around the edge of the map unscouted with a mass bio army is much lower on Amygdala. This is a much more defendable map, so we'll see if we can end up with a more back and forth mid-game. For now, let's jump in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is Spirit. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, but also setting up the boys. The boys are moving out, setting up a proxy across the map. We have the American Terran player, the Orange Terran, for Detonate. It is Dolan. Here we go. SCVs are being sent across the map. And we do have a proxy 2 racks. Let's go. Now, back at home, gases are being taken. Typically, I would assume that this is proxy 2 racks Reaper. This is a little bit further back, but I'm still leaning towards Reaper production here. There isn't really much room for proxy add-ons for Tech Labs into Marauder play. But we'll keep an eye on Dolan to see how this all comes together, as we have our 3 racks set up, not 2. Okay, 1 rack's back at home, 2 across the map. Another SCV is being sent out as well. So very committed here by Dolan. And I'm curious if we are going to be going for the Tech Lab. Show us what you got. Meanwhile, Spirit opening up double gas. Double gas opener into a faster factory. Delayed CC by Spirit. SCV moves out for scouts to make things look as they should, and Reaper production has begun. Okay, so we have confirmation it is going to be Mass Reaper. So straight up Mass Reaper here by Dolan. Let's go. Spirit playing safe. And so far, this does look a little bit better here for Spirit. It comes down to the execution. Comes down to the control. Spirit, he does check the 3rd location, confirms there is no proxy racks, not at least at the 3rd. SCVs race back home. And here come the Reapers. And Dolan, he will be able to delay the CC. Oh, pokes in, doesn't quite commit though, he's waiting for extra reinforcements. There we go, waits for his 3rd Reaper. He is now up in Reaper production. And he can't commit! He gets 1! Oh! Oh my god, 1 Reaper goes down. Can he get the other? The boys are being pulled. 2nd Reaper falls. Hellion has arrived just in time. With the help of the Hellion, looks like Dolan is going to be shut down. Oh, barely will escape. Escapes with 2 of those Reapers. From here, we'll reinforce. CC is still on the way. And now there's a 2nd Hellion in production. Reapers, they dive back into the main base. Going for the Hellion, but alas, it looks like from here, Spirit, he should have enough to hold on. Yeah, 2nd Hellion has arrived. The Reapers, they line up. Have to get the hell out of here. Another Reaper falls. Dolan, he at least does delay the CC, but he's hoping for more damage. The control's too good. The Hellion survives. Reapers go down. Spirit holds. And Spirit, he has, yeah. Spirit, he does hold on. He does have a base over his opponents. We're learning about Cliffs today. And Spirit, he will take the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Very nice defense there by Spirit. He does hold quite nicely. Very impressive. Meanwhile, my condolences here to Dolan as he is going to be knocked out of the first round in our bracket. Speaking of, now is the time. Now is the time. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves.